Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. It is July 10th, 2023. This is my 9th day back on trail and 131 overall. Getting up there. Left at 6 a.m. perfectly, and it's the first night it got kind of cold. I'm not any higher than anywhere else I've camped, but yeah, it was getting cold actually as I was hiking to find a camp spot when I was struggling because as you can see, I don't know if you can see, it's a major fire burn area. They had a burn here, I think, a couple years ago. And man, today is going to be an interesting day. I told you, I kind of went over it last night, but if you didn't watch that video, I've got 8 miles downhill, mostly to Belden Town. And then I've got the longest climb that I know of going northbound, 14 miles and almost 5,000 feet, like almost 4,900 feet. And but it's not supposed to be that crazy steep because it's spread out so far over 14 miles. So my goal is to make it to the top today, then make it a 22-mile day. It's just hard finishing on a climb of any type, let alone that long. So I may not make it. It's gonna hike all day. Thankfully yesterday and the day before afternoon I had some rest in town in Quincy, which was a great time. Thank you again, Pounder, for hosting me. So there's not a lot to tell you. I don't know that it's going to be much to film for you because it's just literally, it could be 20 and maybe tomorrow, but 20 straight miles of burn. Here's my third blowdown already. I've only gone 5 minutes. So in the burn areas, of course, the trees are dead and they fall over. We've had great weather. I mean, it's been warm, but I haven't seen a cloud yet on the 9th day. So when I looked at the extended weather forecast, it looks like the same and actually getting hotter in about 4 or 5 days. And we're talking down to Quincy, down low. They're close to 100 there, so it could get warm, makes the hiking difficult. When you're in these burn areas, of course, you don't have any shade or much shade, so it makes it tougher. There has been, until, when you're not in the burn areas, there's a lot of shaded part of the trail, which is nice. It makes a huge difference, probably 15 degrees or more. All right, so let's get this going. Hope you're all doing very well. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you down the trail. Okay, I was gonna do an update in Belden Town, but I forgot to. It took me about 3.5 hours to get there. It's 8 miles, which isn't bad. Trail was very overgrown in a lot of places. And I think I had 14 blowdowns, and here's number 15. Every time I get on the camera, there's a blowdown, but that's like all day. You kind of see it right there. So I picked this spot because essentially I have 14 miles of climb. I'm almost a mile in. I left Belden Town at 10 or a couple minutes after. I did a steep climb. I'm going to cruise into a water source, and it's basically climbing the rest of the day. There's a couple of little flatty spots just for a little bit. Theoretically, you know, we always simplify things and say, oh, we got 3,000 feet and this many, climb and over 6 miles, but it's never even, right? You get flat parts like this. I'm even going a little downhill right now, but then you have to make up for it and have steeper parts. So I think that's how it'll be. I've heard it's not too horrible. We'll see. But at 10:28, it's already getting hot. So it's kind of ironic that going down, was cool and comfortable. I had a nice cool breeze up high. I'm sure the higher I get, the cooler it'll get. Of course, it's like supposedly 3 to 5 degrees for every 1,000 feet. So it'll be cool up there. They had a devastating fire here a few years ago. I've got to be careful. There's rattlesnakes on this trail, this section. But I heard that those burn all the trees. So it's a lot of, I'm going through one little rare thing of shade, but it can pretty much be total exposure, which is brutal. But I think what I heard was there was a lot of poison oak here before, approaching the trails, so it was tricky. And I get it pretty bad. So I think the fires burned it all back, so that's good. I think it was 2 years ago. But anyway, I'm hiking today and 2 more days to get to Chester. And the guy in Belden Town said the burn up there is all the way to Chester and past it, because the next section is the last one and that's burned. So remember how big the Dixie fire was. That's an update. It's gonna be a hot one. Hopefully as we get higher, I'll have great views like I did on the other side coming down. But see you down the trail. No wind. Okay guys, I got two things for you. You want the good news or the bad news? Let's go with the good news first. I'm only 5.1 miles from the top, baby. It's 3:43. I'm thinking like 7-ish. It gets dark at 8:30, so I'm just hoping. I'm camping at the top unless I see something better. I don't care if it's windy or not. Bad news, just had a little thing. Looks lovely, doesn't it? Well, it doesn't hurt at all. So I'm gonna go wash it off. And I think I have a Band-Aid, put something on there. I think it's stopping bleeding now. I got some blood on my gator, so that's gonna look badass later on. But yeah, surprisingly, it doesn't hurt. But it bled fast and hard, and I videoed a little bit of it. I'll show you later when I do my closing. But I'll explain what happened. Freak accident, paying attention to everything. This is how it's very frustrating to hike here because I'm paying attention every single second, and the trail can literally trip you up anyways. All right, I'm gonna get some water and clean this up. Pretty awesome, man. Right on this sign, right on this spot. Let me see what it says on this side. You're entering the Sierra Nevada mountain range, going southbound where I came from, that way. And I'm now entering the Cascade range. I love the Cascades in Washington, so it's got to be good. But you know, obviously, it's not going to just flip a switch. But all right, we got a couple miles to the top. 5:45. Started at 6 this morning. Yeah, baby, yeah. I made it. Oh my gosh. Holy smokes, did I have a long day, and I thought I'd try to make this as quick as possible, but I just did I looked on my app and looked at the stats. I did over 6,100 feet of gain today, and I'm talking from where I started camp. I did over 5,300 feet of decline, and I started at 6 a.m. right on the dot, and I got here at 7:10. So over 13 hours of hiking, and extremely hard hiking. And I'm going to be flat out honest with you. I'm shocked I'm here. You know, I'm getting my trail legs. I'm leaning down some. I still have a lot of weight to lose, but it was so extreme today of the straight downhill and just so hard on you and like just thrashing your quads and stuff like that. And then my right knee started to hurt from so much downhill, and I don't have a bad knee. It's fine now. Just was that angle was killing it. And then, I don't know, I can't believe I made it up here. It was so hot at the bottom, and there was no wind for miles. 'Cause remember, I had 14 miles to get to the top. I am, by the way, 4/10 from the top, so I did 21.6 miles today. I didn't stop because I couldn't make it. My goal was to get to the top. But then the last couple places where I was getting water, and I kind of inspected the comments better, and there's iffy spots at the top, possibly, and it's not very steep. It's just very gradual. So, but all the comments said some killer spots here with great views. And the problem is, I'll try to show you in tomorrow morning's view where I am. I'm on this precipice. It's amazing. I even have some service. But I stopped here on purpose, or I would have kept going because I wasn't going to go that far and stop 4/10 short. But there's a couple spots here, and there's so many dead trees. As you notice, it's all dead here. This is Dixie fire. When I get all the way, I have 2 more days, hopefully the full day tomorrow and a shorter day the next day into Chester. And then we'll get into Lassen. And Lassen, thankfully, is not that mountainous. It's more flat, and it's all burnt too. So I've got the next 2 days, which are 30, and then Lassen. I don't know how long the whole section is to get through Lassen to the next town, but I bet you have 130 or more miles of burnt. So one of the issues is the trees fall over a lot, so you kind of don't want to, if you can help it. In Lassen, everything's burnt, so you kind of have no choice unless you can find an open spot. But it's kind of a risk assessment. Okay, let's talk about all that blood. So what happened today was really weird. I'm paying attention, looking. I mean, because there's supposed to be rattlesnakes. Thankfully, I didn't see one today. But I was paying attention, and there's so much shrapnel from the trees. It's all dead, and all the branches that didn't fall initially are falling from being burnt in the weight of the winter and the winds and everything. But anyway, there's all these sticks on the ground, and I'm paying attention. And if these are my feet here, it's like there's a stick here, and my one foot went forward, and as my back foot came, it caught the end of the stick, and the stick got perfectly on the toe of my shoe, but this end of the stick was wedged into like a rock and wouldn't move. So it was the weirdest thing I've hiked over 8,000 miles. I've never seen this, or never had it happen to me. So I'm stepping this way, and I'm already leaning, and I'm trying to step with my back foot, and it's caught on this stick, and it will not let. But I'm moving forward, and I realize it's grabbed my toe of my shoe perfectly. I'd even tried to kick out sideways to get rid of the stick, and it was locked perfectly. And I mean, I just literally went face first, and as it turned out, I went knee first, and I got so lucky, you guys, because the trails I've been saying today full of rocks, and I landed. There's rocks everywhere, but 2 dirt spots. So, but I think just a sharp rock or something just punctured under my kneecap. I didn't have any injury. It didn't hurt actually. It was just super awkward because I couldn't pull my back foot to take another step. I couldn't support myself. I just fell forward. And I'll see tomorrow if there's a little scab, but it almost felt like it was just a puncture from a small little rock or something, because blood was just pouring out of it. But there was no other injury on my knee. Like there's no scrapes or cuts or anything. It was so weird. And it was like somebody had poked the hole and it was just leaking. And so I had to hike about half a mile with it bleeding to get to water. And then that's when I kind of showed you guys what it looked like. And then, I washed it off with my bandana and washed it off really good, and it just stopped bleeding. It stopped, so it doesn't hurt. Didn't need to take any Advil or anything. So I don't know. Unfortunately finding out I'm pretty tough, but I don't need to find that out. But anyway, I'm proud of today. I haven't looked at what that leaves us. Tomorrow doesn't look as bad. I think there's a climb later in the day or something, but I'm going to look at it. But I know we get 4/10 over this top of this mountain, and then we have downhill and cruising for a while. There may be little patches of snow here and there, but hopefully I don't need them. And if so, I will send them back, get them. I've been carrying 1.5 pounds of that I don't really need of microspikes. So when I get to Chester, I'm going to try to read the intel on the app and find out what's going forward in the last end, if I need them or not. But I would like to get rid of that 1.5 pounds, and I need to buy something too. But anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow will be a full day, and then hopefully like a half day the next day. All right, since I'm doing no-cook dinners, here's what I'm having. I'm having 2 of them. You got the tortilla. I know it doesn't look great necessarily. Salami. I have some really aged cheddar, sharp cheddar cheese. I crumbled some Fritos on there to see how that is. Give it a little crunch and see how it is, and a little salt. And then that one's I'll prepare in a minute. But just roll it up, baby. Oh yeah, that's good. Fritos, first time I tried that, Fritos. Gives it a little crunch and salt. I approve.